Greeting and welcome to the Intensive Success Growth. I am your host, Nishant Sharma. Please give warm welcome to our guest, Shannon. Shannon is a business owner, podcast host, author. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you
Mm,
surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
So to inspire me to do what I do today actually started with who I wasn't around, right? Right now we're having a lot of discussions about women's rights, and I've been thinking about what it means to be a woman since I was not with my mom. We were separated for 12 years. And then when we met, she got sick and passed away a few years later. So what I do with Women Connected in Wisdom, talking about the 8 dimensions of wellness, and Shealo Glo focused on physical wellness and healthy daily habits, is about that, women taking care of their health intentionally so that we can be proactive instead of reactive.
Okay, what are the top three reasons why do people fail?
Hmm. I think that one, it starts with the belief, right? Do you actually think you can do it? Do you think that what you want is for you? And what helped me with that is loving underdog stories. And I realized that really we know at the end of the story, right? This person is victorious. So aren't they the victor the whole time, but we call them the underdog? So what would happen if that person operates as the victor the whole time? They would probably, excuse me, be even more successful and victorious, right? So believing that you can do it. Two is starting, right? Starting and not being caught on, what do we call it? Analysis paralysis, or trying to be perfect. Just start and you can do a SWOT analysis the rest of the way through, right? And then if I had to pick a third one, I would say being focused on the details, whether that's the different parts of the systems of the business, the legal, the product, the communication, or if it's the people that you're doing business with, being intentional about why you're aligned, why you're collaborating with the project that you're collaborating on, paying attention to the details so that it's sustainable and successful.
Okay, what is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
So I love this question when I saw it. I would say that my greatest failure story is having to move out of my own apartment at the beginning of COVID. So I had stepped down from my kitchen manager position the first time, okay? And I was a server at the restaurant for about a year, 11 months, and COVID happened, shut it down. And I had to move immediately. The next month, I was gone out of my apartment by May 1st because I couldn't afford to stay. I knew no matter what the law said, I wouldn't have the thousands of dollars that would rack up. And I had to move. And it had a beautiful painted wall like the one behind you. Mine was purple. I had already had the fresh paint from the apartment complex to paint it back when I knew I was going to move out, and never got to the official move out date because I couldn't afford it. Right. So as a young woman who had a salary position and making the money to be able to afford these things, for me, that was a failure. It was a loss in my stability house, right? The stability of my home and my finances. I said, what's going on with the way that I spend money? And so now I would say definitely have turned it around 2 years later. For Shealo Glo, we're rebranding. This is our new logo. And we just celebrated 2 years on Sunday, 6/26, 2022. We've been in the game for 2 years. And I started with my unemployment money, the business, right? Now we have business partners, have been on 11 Alive, working with SCAD and Spark with the Sweet Auburn initiative, and started a second company. We've started the podcast. We're writing a book right now, Tell Us Summit in October that actually that's behind the scenes peek. We have not technically released the date, but your listeners can know now that we have that coming up soon, and have all this stuff in the works to help people not just with their skin and taking care of themselves physically, which has been a huge thing, especially over COVID, right? But also really being well in all the dimensions. And that's what we talk about on the podcast: financially, spiritually, socially, occupationally. How do you think about all the things that you should consider? Again, talking about the details and paying attention to what's really going on so that you're really well. And I would call that a win, taking my failure and saying, I never want to have to move out at a drop of a dime ever again. I want to be investing in real estate. This is the opposite of where I should be going right now, you know? So now being on the way to real estate investing and paying off debt as a kitchen manager, as I build my streams of income and the systems, has been exciting.
Okay, great. So, what's your success secrets that other can model from you?
Mm. I feel like I have a lot of secrets and little things that I do to continue to be effective. One thing I would say is to keep going, make today better than yesterday. So, okay, I got some feedback that, for example, at work, we're talking about the way that I receive feedback, right? I thought I was good at receiving feedback, but instead of taking it personal, I go with the 4 agreements. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions. Do your best. Be impeccable with your word, right? And I say, okay, the next day I can do better. I can do better in this area. Let's see if I can try this. If it'll work better, my staff is more taken care of. The guests are more taken care of. That makes me a better business owner, partner, and everything else. So that's what I would say.
Okay. What motivates you within?
Hmm. I'll say at the core of everything is usually, am I doing what God's will is for my life, right? We can have nice cars, get our nails done, have nice apartments, have money, and all these things that we talk about. But what is it for? Am I in my purpose? So that is my motivation, because even though I'm young, not everybody gets the opportunity to grow old. So I don't take life for granted. And I try not to assume that I have another day, and that's how I live it. I want to be tired at the end of the day, not because I'm drained and exhausted and in an unhappy place, but because I used my potential to the fullest that I could that day and poured out all of my energy in the ways that I was supposed to, and I can rest and recharge and get it again tomorrow because it's a marathon.
Okay. So,
Yes.
what's your company motto?
Ooh, you glow, girl. That is the company motto for Shealo Glo. And it's about you taking care of yourself. Again, when you do that, your skin will glow, but it's not just about being moisturized and not being ashy. It's about you seeing yourself for who you are, and you glow when you do that, and you take better care of yourself. And then we're able to do all these amazing things that we're talking about.
Who is your ideal client?
Mm. I was thinking about her earlier too. I would say her name is Olivia, right? Overworked and overstretched, and is looking for something that's really going to work. We get a lot of information a lot of different places, right? Something that's really going to work to take care of her and her family. She's a sharer. So if she gets good information or something that works, she loves to share it. And right now, she probably needs that extra cash flow that we were talking about, the side gig that's actually going to work. Shealo Glo does have an affiliate program. And so I would love to see somebody going from dry, cracked skin that needs some relief and has tried a lot of things, that wants organic products, to someone who's a cheerleader and say, you need Shealo Glo, you need Shealo Glo, so you can be covered and taken care of.
Okay. How do you find your ideal client?
Ooh, right now it's online. I'm actually working with my marketing team as we rebrand everything at the end of this month. We're about to launch it. And online, on Instagram, on ShaloGlo.com. The different ways they find me are usually in person at markets, and I'll post those online, or through the podcast. And we talk about Shealo Glo on there because Shealo Glo is the sponsor of Women Connected in Wisdom. And then they go travel to the website, find out about the story, and pick which glow kit fits them best, either the travel glow that'll go through TSA and it's below 3.4 ounces, or the home glow. And then, when they love it, they can't stop talking about it because people are going to ask them what they're using. Yes. And their family members will still it. Make sure that if you have some Shealo Glo, I know that we love our families, but they will take it across state borders and everything when they go back home.
How do you deliver five-star client experience?
So what I do is kind of what I was talking about earlier with the feedback that I got, is listening to what that person needs, right? What do you use on your skin? Why do you use those things? And that's been the way that I've built out the business so far. And that's what I'll continue to do, asking them what type of scents they want. And that's the reason that the lemongrass is about to come out, why we started with the mango as the original scent. And I think that when you remember to keep the person that you're serving in front of mind, you can't go wrong, because they're going to tell you if you step out a little bit, especially when you ask for feedback a certain way. And that's what we've been doing and what I look forward to continuing to do.
How do you handle angry client?
Mm. When I think about why they're actually upset, right? Does it make sense? Of course, if I would I be upset if I was 6 states away and let's say my glass container broke? I wanted Shealo Glo. I'm out. What am I supposed to do? I know this is not your fault, but my container is broken. I can understand that, right? So I think that's one of the biggest opportunities that we have as business owners. How do you turn that around? And I think that I do a good job at being able to turn it around. So I listen to them and see how I can fix it and do that as quickly as possible.
How do you handle rejections?
I think the best way to handle rejection is with understanding, right? For example, even today, I started scheduling different opportunities to speak on different platforms, right? And somebody came back with, she is updating her show, and right now the topics I speak about are not a good fit. I can honor that, right? If you have boundaries, I have topics for my show, you have topics for your show. If we're talking about vacuum cleaners, we're off topic, you know? So with understanding, and I feel like when I've given somebody a no and they took it respectfully, I love that. You know, that leaves it open for a continued relationship. And that's always important, especially with women connected in wisdom. That's something I stand on. So yeah, with understanding.
Okay, great. So, how do you start your day?
So I do have a checklist, and by filling myself up, right? I pour out, I have all these different platforms. Women Connected in Wisdom is international. We're growing. Shealo Glo is growing. Now I have a team at work and have had teams at work. Um, and I'm intentional about pouring into them, especially to balance the relationship of coaching, right? So to start my day, I start with myself, water, stretching, my devotion, I'll journal, do my gratitude, that's included in the journal. I did used to do 10 things that I was grateful for. That's what I was doing through COVID. And I think it was great to help me focus on what I had instead of what I didn't have, right? But now for time constraints, I lowered it to 3. And what else do I do? Stretch, workout, kiss myself. I added that to the checklist. So you just kiss your shoulders, love on yourself a little bit, right? And then I hug my partner, make sure that we start off good, and then my day is usually great.
Okay. What are you grateful for today?
Today, I am grateful for being able to connect across cultures, across genders, on different platforms internationally, and not have to leave my house. I could do it from home. I'm grateful for that.
Okay. How young are you?
29,
You are not
just
29 year
turned.
young. You are 18 year
Yes.
young with 11-year
Okay.
experience.
Wait, say it again.
You are not 29-year young. You are 18
Okay.
year young with 11-year experience.
I like that with 11 years experience. Okay.
Okay. So, who is your living mentor? What's the impact?
Mm. I would say, and I usually have a list of mentors, right, for different things. And that comes from me not knowing my mom for so long. I knew I would need to be connected in different ways, right? I would say right now, one of my mentors is Christine Gautreaux, my podcast co host. And I say that because even before our podcast, she was already an international author, speaker, and coach. She's already been coaching individual clients and helping people find joy in the midst of what they do. And that's a passion of mine. You know, I know this is difficult, but we can help you reach your potential and be well where you're at. I love having those conversations. And she's been doing it for some time now. So I love how she does it. And I love being partnered with her. So I would say the impact for me is being able to build generational wealth. That's what I see the one of the products being, right? Because I'm able to pay off debt, build the streams of income, and now we're about to launch a community and writing books for women to be connected and resources. That's a huge impact, especially right now when we're talking about laws changing. I can't even, I don't even know how to describe the magnitude of it yet, you know, because I think it's going to be huge. Just women connected and healthy living is so important. So to me, again, generational wealth, better wellness, and entrepreneurial skills that we get to practice together and the impact globally, I don't know how to quantify it yet. What can women not do? Who knows what'll happen, you know?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
What advice you will give younger yourself?
Younger me, what would I say? Hmm. I feel like I would say a lot. If I could make it concise, I think I would have to think about it more. But if I could make it concise, I would say consider yourself more. I had a professor that told me, Shannon, you need to say no more often, right? And I love that advice. I needed to do that. But in that, I also needed to consider myself more. That's why I was saying yes to other things too much.
Okay. How can we
Yeah.
support you?
How can I support me, or how can you support me?
How can I support you?
Mm, you can support me by sending Shealo Glo samples to all the guests that you have on your show.
Okay. No issue. I'll try my best.
Absolutely, no problem.
Okay. What would you like to say about your guest experience on this show?
I've enjoyed it. I think it's been professional. I appreciate the way that you reached out to me on LinkedIn. I was definitely excited to be connected and grateful for the opportunity. And I also like the convenience of how you do your scheduling. That's how we do our coffee and chats for the podcast. But I like that it wasn't any pressure, right? I had to do a schedule change for the first time we were supposed to meet, and I knew I have his Calendly link. We'll just go in and reschedule it, and you followed up before the show. I love a good follow up, right? And it's been smooth, and I always appreciate things that can work smoothly the first time. So it's been great.
Okay. What's your final word?
My final word is that whether you're a woman, we talk about women connected in wisdom, or a man, you're worth being taken care of. So if you're listening, you were meant to listen to this interview and take a second for yourself. And if you think that you want some more seconds and you want them to be with Shealo Glo or with Women Connected in Wisdom, don't hesitate to get connected. Come on over to our Instagrams, come to the websites at shaloglo.com and womenconnectedinwisdom.com. And I would love to meet you and learn more about how I can help.
Okay. Thanks, Shannon, for sharing your
Absolutely.
wisdom with us on the behalf of our community and team. We really appreciate you. Until the next time, all good wishes to you.
Thank you so much.